Back on HQ with some winning wagers. The Florida Derby set to run Saturday. Last year, Maximum Security won the Florida Derby and was first across the line at the Kentucky Derby, but was infamously disqualified. Here's a look at the early lines for this year's Florida Derby. Let's go ahead and find some value. Our experts. We now welcome in our guys, Jody Demling and the legend Hammering Hank Goldberg. Fellas, you're our last bastion of sports wagering, so let's make some people some money. Leading things off with the Florida Derby. Hammer, how are you handicapping this one?
Well, Tiz the Law is the horse to beat, but of course I would like to try and get some money out of this. But this is a horse who has not raced in 9 weeks, but this is a race that they had planned for. These are the people who had Funny Side, the Saratoga group, and they've been very careful about it. Now, the horse had a little bit of a bad ride in the last race, but still went on to win the Holy Bull that was contested at Gulfstream. And this horse will probably be a little bit off the pace and is, I think, the best horse training in Florida right now. Now, there are a couple of other horses there who I think you have to take a look at. Independence Hall. Rosario will be riding that horse. This is a horse who actually likes to run from off the pace. He didn't run that well in Tampa. He finished, I think he was beaten there, but he tossed a shoe in that race. And he's a horse who will come from off the pace, and he didn't draw that poorly here. Those numbers are 7 and 9. Ete Indien gets a break here in that there were 2 scratches, so he moves in 2 spots, so he won't be that far out. And in his last race, where he won the Fountain of Youth, he broke on top and never looked back. And he's going to be the speed of the race. But there's other speed here who may compromise him. For a long shot, I like Candy Tycoon. Now, Castellano was supposed to ride that horse for Todd Pletcher, but Castellano is down with a positive test, and so he's not riding. And the last I saw, Todd hadn't named the rider, although I thought Leperoux may get the mount. But this is a horse who has been slow to develop, but Todd likes the way he's training now. He's 20 to 1, and he might be a good shot to hit the board, maybe third. So, but I like the top 2 the best.
All right, Jody, let's take a look at some of these horses, dig a little deeper. Tiz the Law going off at 6 to 5. He's the favorite for a reason. What do we need to know about this horse?
Well, this horse is just gritty and gutty, and he won the Holy Bull in his first start as a 3-year-old. And right now, obviously the Derby is not going to be the first Saturday in May. It's the first Saturday in September. But right now, if you had to pin most people down for a Kentucky Derby favorite, they would say Tiz the Law. This is a horse that just looks like he's got it. As Hank said, in his last race, he didn't get a great start, but he still won the race and over Ete Indien in that race. So he is just a very, very good horse. And like I said, I can see him winning this race and going on and being a huge favorite in the Kentucky Derby, although we're a few months away from it now. So it changes things up a little bit, but I still think that this horse probably is going to be one of the favorites for the Kentucky Derby.
How about the long shot Hammer gave us? With a name like Candy Tycoon paying 20 to 1, you have my attention. Jody, what about this horse has that long shot ability that we should be taking a long look at?
And Todd Pletcher, I mean, that's the thing now. Todd Pletcher hasn't had he's had some good 3-year-olds, not that great 3-year-old yet this year. He won a race today with a 3-year-old on an allowance race that looked really good at Gulfstream Park. He's going to be in the Derby mix, and this is one that looks like he's got the pedigree, looks like he's training like Todd wants to move him forward. And again, unfortunately, I don't think he'll go off at 20 to 1, but if he does go off at 20 to 1, he's one you've got to bet.
Most definitely. Well, prior to the Derby, they'll run the Florida Oaks. Hammer, who do you like in this spot?
By the way, one more thing about the favorite in the Derby. Bartley Tagg said this is the best horse he's ever trained. And remember, he trained Funny Side. But on to the Oaks. The favorite there is called Tunnelist Shape. Is unbeaten in 5 races. Beat Spice's Nice last time out, who was favorite over her. And she was much the best. Spice's Nice had a little bit of a slow start, but it was in position and never made up any ground. I've got a Todd Pletcher long shot in there, a filly called Mrs. S. This is a horse who's very lightly raced, only has 1 win and 2 starts. But this filly is coming around now, and Todd loves the way she's training and says that this, and you can see by her last race, she jumped out to a huge lead and showed tremendous speed. If she breaks on top the way Gulfstream is usually on big race day and is speed favoring, this horse could steal the race. So I'm going to use that horse on top. I'm talking about Mrs. Todd along with Tonsilous Shape, and I'm going to use Spice is Nice and Miss Skydive in top, underneath rather.
Jody, when we're looking at the Oaks, what really should we know before we head to the window?
Well, I think Mrs. S, that is another one. I'm right with Hank on that one because I think she looks the part, and I think she is at 8-1. When I saw the 8-1, I was like, oh, great, I'll take 8-1. But I would, I really like Spice is Nice. I thought the last race, going into her last race, she was favorite. She did finish second. She did get off to a slow start. I think she is the type of she's the type that is going to rebound. She might need it, maybe needed that last race, and I think she's going to win this one moving forward.
Hammer, Jody, here's to some winning tickets. We appreciate the time as always, fellas.
All of us, stay healthy.
That's right. Stay healthy and win some races. Here's a look at the Hammers picks. Tiz the Law, the favorite, running in the Florida Derby, but they're favorites for a reason. Long shot pick if you want to make some money. Candy Tycoon paying 20-1, and then a pick to win the Florida Oaks. Mrs. S. For more, you can head over to sportsline.com right now to get our latest information on the Florida Derby, the Florida Oaks, and beyond. It's sportsline.com/join. You can join now for only $1 with promo code Philly.